Well, tell me a little bit about you.
I'm in fourth grade. This was my second day of school today. I'm interested in presidents.
You're interested in presidents. All right, we share that in common. I ran for that thing one time. Yeah. I think there's two things I want to do for young people in our state. Number one is I want to make sure that every student who graduates from an Ohio public high school or an Ohio high school period has gotten a world-class education that allows them to compete in an era of quantum computing and AI and automation. Right now, the average student in our state, in our country, is 4 academic years behind the average student in China. That doesn't work for us in the long run. You're talking about Chinese owning farmland, that's one thing. Talk about China being 4 years ahead of the average student here, that's a very different thing. That is a moral failure on our part. Anybody who's willing to die for your country, if you're patriotic enough to say that if push comes to shove, if you're willing to put your life on the line for this country, and I trust that many of you here would, I'll ask you to do something patriotic for this country short of that. If you're a parent of a child, make sure they can read by 3rd grade. If you're a parent of a child, make sure they can do algebra by 8th grade. If you're a parent of a child, make sure that they know the basics about U.S. history by the end of 12th grade. It's one of the most patriotic things you could do for our country, and I think it's one of the most patriotic things I hope to do and achieve as our governor. We got to go to our future, chase American victory. The 20th century was America's century. The 21st century ought to be as well. And we have an opportunity here in Ohio to set that standard for the rest of the United States of America. That's number one. Number two thing it's most patriotic, if you want to do it for your kid, is put $10,000 in a Roth IRA account or similar account, park it in the S&P 500 and let it compound for the next 40 years. You'll be a millionaire by the time you turn 45. And for those parents who aren't able to do it, I think we ought to be talking about whether or not we create cost-free programs to say that we would rather invest that money in your future and have you be a millionaire by the age of 45 with the world-class education to go along with it, instead of suckling at the teat of the federal government for Medicaid, welfare, and Social Security, and even Medicare, which aren't going to exist by the time you age into them. So that's, I think, the future I see for our country. And what am I going to be able to do? It? Some of it we're going to be able to do in Ohio, and the rest of it, through doing it in Ohio, we set a standard for the other 49 states in our country. We want to make sure you're the best educated generation and most financially empowered generation this country has ever seen. So do we have a deal? I appreciate that. Maybe if you're into presidents, maybe, where were you born? Cleveland, then you can run for president too. You know, we even have a president named Cleveland, okay? So yeah, if that can happen, it can happen for you too, man. Proud of you for being here.
See, stuff like this is why I wanted Vivek to be the president of this country, but understanding what Trump is doing, not many are liking, I should say, what Trump is doing with the mass deportations, how he's basically came into office, put his foot down and started to sign all these executive orders and saying, hey, we're cleaning up this country. We're doing a full reset on this country. I think whoever was going to be the president and to say and do these type of things, majority of the country or some or half of the country would be opposed to this on how it's getting done. So I'm actually kind of glad Vivek didn't take that on, because it would have tarnished his name right away, especially not really having a reputation with the country. I mean, he came out of nowhere when he campaigned and was trying to become the president, and people were slowly getting to know him. And now that people are really getting to know him, and now that he's trying to get to the Ohio governor's seat, I mean, he's still out here campaigning and still speaking what he believes in. And this is, I believe, is the American way of where we need to head towards. I believe after President Trump, we need to start really looking at Vivek Ramaswamy in his hopes for the presidential seat to help boost this country even more. I really like what he said here about how, parents should start having goals for their kids as they're in school. Hey, you need to learn this stuff by this age. Try to be ahead of the game. Don't wait till, 8th, 9th grade when you have to learn that specific subject. Walk in that classroom already knowing some of the stuff. I mean, and this is on the parents' responsibilities, and, it's tough. And when you have the excuses of parents saying, well, we work, full-time jobs, we're not there. You shouldn't have kids then. People that are planning to have children should make the effort of being there for their children. If you know you want to have a family, you have to make sure that you also have time for your family, because then you're just throwing them out into the world and expecting left-wing schools to take your children's minds away. And that's what causes so many problems here in this country. So parents need to step it up, and I really like that Vivek is really pushing that, and even letting people know, hey, parents, as soon as your kid's born, $10,000, store it for them, save it for them. That way they can be financially independent and prepared for things that we don't even know what's going to happen years from now with our government and with this country. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Until next time, peace out, everybody.